Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I never tire of that beginning. Every time I hear it, I hear Bill Cinque, one of my favorite people, say, "And welcome, Kellee White." I love that, Bill. I always think of you when I hear that. Well, hi, everybody. Hi, Renee.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
So
Renee.
glad to be here.
Great. I'm so glad you're here. And I want to say happy Hanukkah to everybody tonight that is celebrating. If you're celebrating, you probably already are lighting your candles right now, not watching. But I do want to make sure everybody knows that tonight is Hanukkah. It's the first night. And we lit our candles with our grandchildren on Zoom. It was a Zoom first night of Hanukkah. So that was a first. And I'm grateful that we did that, and it was really just really touching to see my baby grandson do his Hebrew prayers. It was really sweet. Really, just really meant so much to me tonight, more than normal. You know, I have learned throughout 2020 gratitude. I am grateful for everything. I was even grateful yesterday when I went to my new store, Walmart, in 2019, in December of 2019. If somebody had said, "Ooh, you're gonna go shopping at Walmart, huh?" I would have been like, what?" Now I'm like, "Ooh, I get to go to Walmart." And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I mean, I think that this year has taught me an attitude of gratitude. And I also want to welcome tonight my tiger back there. You can see my tiger. And Kim, if you're looking, I have that beautiful poinsettia and my red and white flowers. But I put my tiger out there to mention something. The other day, Monday, James Van Prague and I did a show on dreams. And the question was asked, how do you remember your dreams? How do you remember? Kellee, I always forget my dreams. So a couple of nights ago, I had dreams of tigers. And I've had so many tiger dreams, and we'll do a show on totems, but my totem happens to be a tiger, and it means they used to call me Tiger Lady. Actually, I'm not kidding. When I was in the meat business, while I was a vegetarian, so it was a strange deal. But it's a very important totem to me because it actually means fiery strength of will. So, how do you remember your dreams? I will tell you. You put a pad of paper by your bed and you tell yourself night after night, I'm going to remember my dreams in the morning. And you program your brain to remember. And then suddenly throughout the day, if you don't recall in the morning, you practice it. And it's the funniest thing because I forgot about the tiger dream that I had had 2 nights ago until right before I went on the show. And then I remembered it. So it's funny what triggers you throughout the day. But anyway, you get in the practice of telling yourself to remember. So you could do it. Everybody can do that. So another thing I'm grateful for. So I'm grateful for Hanukkah Zoom. I'm grateful for my tigers. I'm grateful for something else here. I'm grateful that I'm not in Los Angeles right now. And it's not because I don't love LA. I'm born and raised there. And as most of you know, I live on a farm now in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. But the reason I'm really grateful is because if I was in Los Angeles right now, it would be very tough for me to tell my beloved friends and family that I couldn't be with them. I know me. I'd have a glass of wine and say, "Oh, it's okay," you know. So in a way, God has kind of kept me safe and away from. I don't have to make any decisions. There's no place to go. Oh, I can go to Walmart once a month, but there's really no place to go. So I'm really grateful for that I don't have to worry about, disappointing somebody or not being able to be with somebody, or it's just kind of interesting. Charlene says I'd be miserable. I bet. Thanks, Kat loves the poinsettia. I love them. It reminds me so much of my mom. My mom, by the way, was Southern Baptist and my father was Jewish. So we had huge Christmases, kind of minor Hanukkahs, but I always wanted to do both. But huge Christmases. So anyway, so that's what's going on here. And oh, I'm going to start with the astrology. Let's go with the astrology first. And I have to say, I'm going to start with this question, which is going to lead me into the astrology. And this was from the first, you can put this first question up, Renee, from Jessica Morley. I want you to read this. I'll read the question. If you can put this up on a sidebar, Renee. Yeah, she says, curious why I'm feeling so crappy after the eclipse. So let me remind everybody, we had an eclipse on November 30th, and it was in Gemini. And it was a big eclipse. And the next eclipse is December 14th, which is just right around the corner. And she says, I'm curious why I feel so crappy after the eclipse. It keeps getting worse and I'm exhausted. She said, I've had so many clients and friends reach out to me. Also, a kind of a collective anxiety, digestion issues, fatigue, and just wanting to hunker down. She says, this is the worst energetically I've felt in 2020. I have to say, I agree, Jessica. So let me tell you this. We had the first eclipse. Well, we had 7 eclipses this year, more than any time of any year. 7 is a lot. Sometimes we have 4, sometimes we have 5, but seriously, 7 is a lot. And what's so important about this is eclipses bring endings and they bring change. So they begin endings and then new beginnings. And at the end of the year, I think what happens is the energy of, first of all, the energy of 2020, it's coming to this kind of cataclysmic ending in the sense of, because of the winter solstice on the 21st. So we'll talk about that. I don't mean cataclysmic, but it's a big ending, that kind of a crescendo it comes to on the 21st. But before we get to the 21st, we have another eclipse. And eclipses, frankly, Jessica, it's a great question. They make us tired towards especially where we are right now. I think we're all a bit tired. We all have, 2020 fatigue. I mean, it's been exhausting. So it's hard to keep your energies up. And I think that these eclipses have brought so much change that you're trying to continue with the change. You're trying to, keep up with the change, or some people are getting very depressed too. This has been a long year. It's been a long year and we're not quite out of the year. And yes, Nikki Diana says big shifting. Yeah, when you make a big shift, it can be exhausting. But so that first eclipse that we talked about was November 30th. But the next eclipse that we have is on December 14th. And that's right around the corner. And this is in Sagittarius. Now, I feel that this eclipse is going to bring out, it's going to increase our understanding. It's going to increase our awareness. It's going to give us the encouragement we need to expand our horizons. So, it's been kind of a time that we've kind of wanted to shut in, but I think this particular eclipse that comes up kind of opens us up a little bit, and gives us a little more hope and faith for the future, frankly. So that might help with the exhaustion, Jessica. This one eclipse may actually help lift us back up again. That's what I'm thinking here. And then again, as I mentioned, I think last week, on December 15th, the next day, Chiron, the wounded healer, goes direct in Aries. And that's going to bring up issues that we need to work on for healing for each one of us. So let's say you've been through a lot of traumas. This year caused a lot of traumas for a lot of people. We've been living in a heightened state, for a long, long time. And I think now we're going to be looking at where we are with everything. I mean, really, everybody should take a kind of a check-in with themselves. How are you doing? Like, take a check-in with yourself as if you're talking to a therapist or me or somebody. How are you doing? Well, I did well on this and I didn't do so well on this and I need to work on this. And that's what that Chiron going direct is going to be, because it's an Aries, and Aries means, what about me? It's all about me. So it's time to actually do your work going inward, going forward. And then we have a few more days before we get to the winter solstice, but I'm going to jump right to the winter solstice on the 21st of December, because I think it's the most important day of the year for so many reasons. Years ago, I had Archangel Michael, and again, for the people that don't know me, I work a lot with angels. I didn't believe in them, but I've seen them and they exist. And Archangel Michael said to me that I remember he said that on December 21st is when all the archangels come back together and you can actually feel it. And it comes back into a very sacred space. And I feel that, so I've always known that December 21st was a sacred day, but we have something really important to look forward to on this winter solstice. And I had chills when I said that. I think this is a really sacred day. Jupiter aligns with Saturn at 0 degrees in Aquarius, and Jupiter is expansive, and Saturn is the like rules and karma and all of these kind of things. But this comes together. This it's called the grand finale. This great conjunction, and this time, what makes this so unique is that it's what is it called? It's called the declination. Thank you, Charlene, for that word. The declination, which means that the planets are like on top of each other on the 21st of December. What's so important about that is they're calling this the bright star or the Christmas star. And some believe that this was the star that the wise men saw 2,000 years ago with Jesus. That this star you'll be able to see with your physical eyes. You won't need a fancy gadget to look. And you can see this light emanate on December 21st. You have to check your local time, but I think it's about an hour and a half after the sun goes down. And it's what this signals is a rebirth. They're also saying that this is a portal. This is some sort of a portal. And a portal is where energy comes in and energy can go out. So I think the energy that comes in is a rebirth. The last time this happened was in the year 1405. 1405, and that ushered in this Renaissance period. And this is where, politics had changed and art had changed and music had changed. And I think that this period that we're actually going to be able to mark the day with this beautiful star that's created from these two planets that are conjunct together at 0 degrees, which makes it uber powerful, really, really powerful. So what does this mean for everybody? It means great change for everybody. It means signals great change and the kind of change that we all wanted to be here for. It's going in, it's ushering, some people believe the age of Aquarius. I actually believe that. We were in the age of Pisces and we're going to now usher this in. I'm not suggesting this is going to be an easy time whatsoever, actually, but I think it's an important time. It's important, and it brings in a new world view, and it brings in collaboration and community, and ultimately a social consciousness, because it's in Aquarius, and that is social consciousness. Now, the flip side of that is Aquarius is stubborn. Okay, so I'm not going to suggest this is easy, but it is going to be an extraordinary time to be alive. And you're going to see new things happen with people. They will buy homes, they'll sell homes, they'll move, they'll have children, they will start their own business that they always wanted to do, they'll do something creative. You'll have gratitude, because 2020 taught us one thing, and that is gratitude, because we really couldn't go anywhere. Most of us had to really sequester in. And I have a lot of gratitude for all those people on the front line, everybody that's on the front line. My God, really extraordinary that you guys all volunteered for that, to do that. So it is going to be, yeah. We see Maria Carp Diem says, "Oh my God, Kellee, I had no idea how poignant the day of 12/21 is." It's very, and somebody said to me, right, Renee, somebody said, I can't remember, I have to find it. It's their birthday on December 21st. And what I do want to say about that is, whoa, wow, that's a powerful day to have a birthday this year. Really powerful day to have a birthday this year. So I'm thrilled for your birthday, because expect enormous change on that day. My baby grandson is the 22nd. I think that that's going to be huge also. So in fact, that whole week is going to be very, very important for change, you know? Um, it's just quite a time that we have here. So, and there, you guys have had some great questions, and I'm going to start answering some of these questions right now. But I have to say thank you for the questions. And Mike Johnson, we are going to get to your questions. You asked some wild questions, and I promise we're going to get there because they're just phenomenal. Oh, Kathy Wood says her birthday is December 24th. Yeah, I think, yeah, Charlene says ascension level up. I think so. I think that anybody whose birthday is at about that period of time is huge. And Pamela Tish says her 22nd wedding anniversary is 12/21. Wow, that's important. That's a very important. 22 is a builder. So that's a very important day, Pamela, for you for your anniversary. Wow, I have chills on that one too. Congratulations. Really, that's a big one. So Tanya K says, when we pass away and then we reincarnate into someone different, how do those trying to connect with the spirit of who we once were do so? Well, it's a very interesting question, Tanya. This is my belief on this. So, reincarnation is when we're on the other side and we figure out what we want to do and we come back again. So, we change bodies, we come back again. But the soul remains the same. It comes in a different body so we can grow and change. I personally believe that we are back on the other side for a long period of time. I mean, it's obviously different with everybody, but I don't think we reincarnate that quickly. I think that there's t- it could be 100 years before we go on, or it could be 50, or it could be 20 or 40 or 50 or whatever. So I think that if somebody were to try to connect with us, it would have to be like maybe a great grandson or something, a great grandchild. I'm trying to see. I'm not sure. But part of us, as James talks about, part of us still remains on the other side. There's an aspect of us that does. So it's a complicated question, Tanya, but I hope that answers the question. So, okay, Renee, the next question, please. Lori Stifler Kerwan. She says, my birthday is 12/28/59. What is my life purpose? Is it's too much to go into what happened to me this year? Well, Lori, your birthday also falls into that period of time where there's going to be a lot of change. And you are 3 of hearts. So anybody who was born on that date on December 28th, there are 3 of hearts. And a 3 of hearts comes in actually to deal with 2 things. It's overcoming poverty, overcoming the fear of poverty, not necessarily that you were impoverished, but overcoming any fear of money or fear of not having enough. And the life lesson and the life purpose here is to learn to turn anything that is indecisive into creativity. I don't know if that's going to make sense for what you said, but anytime you get really anxious, it's got to be turned, that energy's got to go into creativity. So, okay. So, okay, the next question, Renee, and then I'll take some from over here. But Renee, the next one, please. Let's see. Oh, Maria, I love this question. Maria Carp Diem. Does that mean seize the day? Maria sees the day? Hi, Kellee. Would love to know if being born on the 22nd of any month makes you a cusp baby. This topic has been up for debate by many. So, being on the cusp in astrology is often at that 22nd day. Yes. Again, isn't that funny? Another 22. And I had a client today. It was all about 22s today. So 22 is an important thing. 22 means, again, the builder. It means to manifest, concretize things, to make manifest, make things into a physical way. So being born on the 22nd of any month, yes, it does make you in Western astrology. It makes you on the cusp. In Vedic astrology, there's no cusp on that. On Vedic astrology, the sign you would be, if let's say this was Virgo and you'd think you were Libra, you'd actually be a Virgo in Vedic astrology. So it's a little tricky of a question, but if you are on the cusp of any of the astrology signs, always look at both because you may fit into one better than the other. Okay, so know thyself with that one. Okay. There is a question. Let's see. Let's start with one of the Mark Johnson questions because they were so fascinating. I'll get to as many as I can, but Mark Johnson had a question. Yeah, there you go. Any of them. There you go. Mark, I don't, you're fascinating to me because you've asked such deep questions here. So Mark Johnson says, if our memories of the other side are wiped out clean at birth, why on earth are you allowed to tell us about it? Why do you, meaning me, get to even know about it? Because I'm special. Just kidding. Well, Mark, so what happens is before we incarnate, or when we incarnate, right before, we go to this place of forgetfulness, if you will. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but we don't recall anything. It's kind of like they wipe us clean of remembering a past life. But some of the past lives stay on our subtle bodies. And as a medium, mediums or good psychics or people that specialize in past lives can pick up on the subtle body. And the reason you're not supposed to know about it, unless you really get to that place where you need to know, like let's say you had a fear of water, fear of drowning. I mean, that's probably past life. And so perhaps that would come in handy to know that information. But the reason we wipe the slate clean is so you don't have any extra baggage when you come in. Let's say you harmed somebody, and then you don't want to have to carry that with you. It's, or let's say you had a tragic passing. It's often better to not know and then just live this life for the first time. Every day should be the first experience. Here we go. So I hope that answers that, Mark. Okay, so now I think, should I take, let me see. Um, Let me answer. I'm going to answer this question over here. Debbie Foster Haran says, when we cross over to the other side, do we get to be reunited with our bodies again so we can do the physical things James refers to doing, golf, etc. on the other side? We all we have our, it's not the physical body. Okay, it's the subtle body that goes on the other side, or it's spirit body, I think it's called. So it looks the same, acts the same way. And yes, I've had many clients who have passed away come back and tell me how great the golf courses are. And yes, you have a body, especially depending on, right, especially when you first are over there. And then later, as your soul matures and grows and grows and grows and expands, I've seen where the bodies are not necessary, that they're just this energy. So, Larry Climates. Hi, Larry. You are special too, Larry. Hi, Brenda. Larry's a great sax player with Neil Diamond. So that was sweet. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Tanya Othon says her birthday's February 22nd. Oh my gosh. Again, another 22. I've had a lot of people say that I'm a healer, a medium, the special gift. Am I? How to help me use it? Well, first of all, I have to say that February 22nd is a 3 of diamonds, and often they come in to be to overcome power issues, power struggles, but they're often can be very psychic, very creative. Usually they're in the arts doing something, and ultimately they come to help other people. So how do I help to use it? Well, just decide how you want to use it. How's the best healing for you, the way you work with people or the way you want to work? And then maybe take some classes through James's mystical arts. That should help. Okay, should we take a call, Renee, before I take any more questions? Because I have a lot of great questions here.
Currently, there aren't any callers, so maybe
Okay.
we can go ahead and ask.
I will keep going. Okay,
perfect.
so all right, I'm going to do another. Mark Johnson had another great question. I'm sorry, Mark. I don't know who you are, but your thought process is wild. So Mark says, what are people with life in prison sentences learning? Or people on my 600-pound life? With really terrible deaths like drowning, how much pain does a person have to endure before they bow out? Okay, Mark, I don't know how you do this. So let's start with this. What are people with life in prison sentences learning? Well, that's often a deep karmic situation, deeply karmic. So perhaps, they had to learn a lot of, boy, would you learn? A lot of reflection, a lot of maybe making up karma for something that you had done, patience, love, compassion, empathy. That's the big one there. Empathy. I think that's a big one. And in the 600-pound life, so how do people, what are what are they learning? What are we learning about them too? So it's both ways. They can come in as a teacher, or they could need to learn self-love or how to regulate their emotions. Things like that. They're always deep issues that people have to learn from that. And as far as a terrible death goes, like a drowning, often the soul is already left before, so they don't feel any pain. Yeah, it's the same with a plane accident or anything kind of a trauma. The soul is gone first. So I hope that answers your question. And boy, you've got some questions.
So Kelly, we have a caller if you want to
Okay,
bring her
sure.
in. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So Louis, I'm bringing you in.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi there. What's your name?
Hi, Kelly. My name is actually Lois.
Hi, Lois. How can I help you
Hi,
today?
I'm so happy to talk to you.
Oh, great.
I'm
Me too.
good. My question for you is, my birthday is actually on December 17th of 1967. I'm also flying on that day and making some very major life changes. And with all the eclipses happening, I'd like to know what you see for me.
Oh, well, I got chills. December 17th, Saturn actually leaves Capricorn and goes into Aquarius. So it's a really powerful day that's your birthday. Wow. I would say expect great change on this one. And on December, and you're an ace of clubs, so you come in for adventure. It's perfect for you to go to travel that day. You'll be just fine, honey. You'll be just fine. This should usher in a change in responsibility for you. This should usher in either something anew, whether it's a new job or a new career or new something for you, because that is such a powerful time that your birthday is, after the 14th eclipse, in between the winter solstice of this big change. It'll be huge for you. Enjoy it. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Oh.
I just love your show.
Oh, thank you so much, Lois. I appreciate it. And enjoy. I tell you, anybody whose birthday is right around that period, big change, big change. So this is good. Change is good.
So do you want to take another caller, or do you want to answer some questions from the stream?
I'm going to hold on to that caller. I have to answer Lori Clark. She says,
Okay.
What does it mean to be surrounded by water, trying to find a way to escape? I'm assuming you're talking about a dream, Lori. It means great emotion. Great emotion, surrounded by water. Oh, I have to deal with my emotions. Trying to escape dealing with your emotions. I always laugh about water dreams because it's always about emotions. Oh, Kate Yachenko says her birthday is 11/22. Again, this 22 again. Still figuring out my purpose in life. All right, let me help you there. So you come in for sacrifice, honey. You come in to help others. This is Jack of Hearts. It's a very powerful day, 11/22. So you would learn. I often see attorneys with this one, but it's always somebody who's helping others and sacrificing. This life was about sacrifice. So it's a good. Oh, see, and Julie Kiss says she's a 22 life path. Should I be doing the same thing special in life? Should I be doing something special? Yes. Anybody who's a 22 in numerology is a builder. So you can build. Donald Trump is a 22. You can build, you can destroy. Everything has a positive and a negative. But a 22 really can concretize things. They can make manifest things. They can have an idea and make it happen. It's a very, very powerful life placement. You can't afford, as a 22, to steer to the left or steer to the right. You have to keep a straight and narrow path because it's a serious. Okay, let me take Renee. I had another one of these questions. Oh, Julie West asked a great question, and this was, she'd like to know, when you have a dog that passed away and you talk to them, do they actually hear you? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're like, we're here. All right, enough already. Yes, they hear you. They hear you. And dogs, what happens when they pass is they love us so much unconditionally that they'll often find us another one to replace them. Every once in a while, and I had a woman today that this happened to, the same dog will incarnate again. In my case, I was praying to my other two dogs who had passed, oh, please send me, I need the right dog, because I had Otis, and Otis he needed some help. We needed some help. And I really wanted a second one. And I know my two other girls in heaven sent me my beloved Charlotte now. So I couldn't be happier. But yeah, go ahead, talk to them. They hear you. They hear everything. They do. And you'll see sometimes they'll respond. You'll feel a clump on your bed. You're like, whoa, what was that? That could be them too. So another one that Mark Johnson said, this was, again, Mark, great question. He said, I'm concerned with people being held accountable for their behavior. Are you a lawyer, Mark? Many certainly aren't here. Are they held accountable on the other side? So what a really great question. It's really a karmic question that you're answering. So yeah, so here's the thing, and this is how this works. You do something bad here. You either take care of it here, so you're making up for it here. You're doing something. Or when you get to the other side, you'll have to really start to work things through. You'll have to figure out how to heal and how to help with what you did. So you're your own. I mean, when you go do a life review, they're going to go like this. Oh, how'd you do? Oh, you did that, huh? Well, we got to work on that. So it's a really good question, but you don't have to be the policeman for other people. They will. You don't get away with anything. You think you do? You do not. No, your guides, everybody's watching. Can't get away with anything. So always do your best. People that think that they're getting away with stuff, oh, they're not. They're not. Okay. So let's see. Well, okay, Mark, I'm going to ask your last one here. Okay, this is the last question for Mark Johnson. Why are some people born rich and they never have to work for their whole lives while others are constantly in poverty? Does taking a more difficult circumstance get more credit or points on the other side? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Actually, it goes back to karma. Why are some people born rich and some people in poverty? I've known a lot of wealthy people. It doesn't mean that they're happier. It doesn't mean that they've had a better life. It doesn't mean any of that, actually. I've known people that are in poverty that have had actually an easier life on some level. It all depends on what their soul came in to do in this life. So if you are very wealthy and you just were a miserable wretch and you never did anything philanthropic or you didn't have a heart about it, not good. Again, you really cannot take it with you when you get on the other side. What you take on the other side with you is the following. They're going to say this. I'm going to give you the answers. Like, Alex Trebek on Saturday Night Live. I'm going to give you the answers for Jeopardy. They want to know, were you good? Were you kind? Were you nice? Did you help others? Did you love? Were you loved? How did you do? How did you help people? These are the kind of things, when you were given an opportunity, what did you do? This is the kind of things. They don't care about how many houses you had. They could give a rat's ass. They just want to know how your soul grew, what kind of consciousness that you grew into. That's the big important thing that they want to know. So I hope um, Lorena says, Mark has a huge crush on you. That's hilarious. Well, I tell you what, I love the way he thinks. He is a smart cookie. Yeah, he is. So Mark is awesome. Whoever he is, he's terrific. Only love you can take with you. That's correct. Som Ting Wong said, only love. It wasn't it Lennon that said that too. I mean, yeah, you can only love is the only thing. That's it. And this is true. That's the only thing that counts. It's the only thing that matters. So Lisa Frazier, great question. She says, is how you die related to karma? Great question. So before we're born, we plan, how do we want to be born? How do we want to pass away? How do we want to do this? It all depends on our soul group because it will affect others in the soul group and for us and our soul. So so is it karma? Could be, could absolutely be. It could be, or it could be that you just chose this or that. It's an interesting one. So Melissa Ann says her birthday is 12/26. So again, that whole period of time, and what is her life purpose on 12/26, the day after Christmas? That's a real emotional day. A lot of emotions on that day. 5 of Hearts. So you come in to deal with emotions and learn about emotions and how to handle emotions, and that's believe it or not, that's what some people come in to do. That is it. All right. Should I take another call or?
Yes.
Okay.
We can. Let me see here. I have Celeste here. Celeste, I'm going to bring you into the show.
Hi, Celeste.
Hi, Celeste. Are you there?
Nope.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Well, then we'll go to the next person.
We'll go to-
Carrie. We have Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Are you there?
You're live in the show. You can go ahead.
Hi, Carrie. Are you there? Well, I guess not. Well, you know what? While we're waiting for that, Pamela Tish says, do our loved ones really decide how and when they will leave? Yes. I've heard about 2020 is not what many souls signed up for and have literally tapped out. It's a great question, Pamela. I mean, you bring up something that I actually wanted to talk about. So thank you for that, honey. Some people, you notice, so some people, all of a sudden you get a call that one passed away, or you hear this one passed away, like suddenly. It's because they didn't sign up for the COVID experience, for the pandemic, for 2020, or they may not have signed up to go into 2021. And it's because we do sign a contract before we come in, make sure your lawyers check it out. And we do sign an agreement, a soul contract. And I know I signed up to be here during this period of time, as all of you did, but some people opted out quickly. One thing that James said the other day, which I loved, Renee, he said that people who have passed away from COVID will be helping others pass away when they pass away from COVID. There'll be actual people, souls that have volunteered for that, which I think is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Susie.
Okay.
I can bring you into the show. Here we go. Hi, Susie. You're live.
I think we're having a trouble. No?
Yeah.
It might be one of those times we're having trouble with live calls. That's okay.
Live in the show, but
and I'm sorry, everybody. I know you've been waiting to call, but
yeah,
this happens sometimes. We'll just keep trying. So Milena Stan says her birthday is October 29th, and it's been a difficult year. Yes, it is. You're a 6 of Hearts, and 6 of Hearts comes in for balance, for fairness, and for big karma too in this one. And you know what? When the going gets rough, you can get going, Millennia. That is one thing I do know about that birth placement. Nobody has energy like that one. So get competitive, get your competitive streak back on, because I know you have it, and you can just keep going with it. Let's see, what else do I have here for people? I'm sorry about the phones, everybody. Let's see. Lorena says, we pick each exit like going to Disney Adventure. You don't pick the same exit way. You pick a new adventure. Yes, each time we come here, we get a new adventure. Each time we come to this dimension, to this Earth school, we do put in it some adventures here in this life. You know, some of us came here kicking and screaming, didn't really want to be here, but yet nonetheless, you know, somebody asked me a question. I can't remember exactly where it is here, but they said, if a baby was born, was supposed to be born on the 21st and then ended up on the 22nd because the doctor was running late, or I don't know, something along the lines, does that mean that that was the wrong time? No. Whatever that time that baby comes out is the day and time that that baby chose to be born, that soul came in. That's how that works. There's no mistakes on that. It's really what that soul had wanted. So I hope that. Oh, Lisa Frazier says her nephew was hit by a train a few days ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he's okay. Boy, that's an odd one. I'm so sorry, Lisa. You have to let us know how he's doing here. So let's see. Let's see what else. Oh, I think this was cute. Cindy Bathgate said, Kelly, thanks for sharing your information on Thursdays. She went on and on. She really enjoys the show and everything. And she said, I was born and raised in California, and now I'm living in the Midwest. Okay, Cindy, we should talk. It's different, isn't it? Most people go, from the Midwest to California. We went ass backwards. I don't know what happened there, but I'm enjoying it. Never lived in the Midwest before, so I'm actually enjoying it. I am grateful for this. So what else? Let's see. I'm wondering, should we try again? Okay, so should we try one more time? Or
I'm restarting the system, so I'll be back up in a minute.
Okay, well, Celeste's question is, she said her birthday is 12/14. Oh, 12/14, right on that. Am I going in and out? I hope you can hear me, everybody. Her birthday is on, oh no, wait, hold on, I'm getting 12/21. Oh, what is the best way? I'm sorry. What is the best way, not the breast way, the best way to bring in that would be the most beneficial? And James and I are going to do our show, we believe, on the 21st. It'll be the last show of the year for us. And I'll do my show next week. Next Thursday will be my last one for the year. And James and I had talked about doing one on the 21st. And before I forget, this Monday, we're doing, with James, we're talking about fear and love. Fear and love. And Leo, if you're listening, we're going to include hate in the fear part of fear and love. Good question, Leo. So the best way to bring in the energy for the 21st is this: spend a few minutes contemplating in silence if you can, meditating if you can, or just going inward on an inward journey about what you'd like to see for yourself in the following decade, really, in the ushering in the 2021 and ushering in what you want to do with your life and get in touch with your life purpose. Okay. And start becoming very conscious, because 2021 is about being conscious. It's going to shift from the kind of unconscious life that a lot of us had to the 2020, which has made us pretty damn conscious, and going into further that in 2021, actually doing your life purpose with passion, with an awareness and a consciousness about it. And that's what you want to do. So great question. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Kat Lynn went from Canada to the Midwest and then to the East. That's a tough one. Oh, you're very welcome, Rachel. She said, thanks for making myself available. Okay. Hunter Vaughn says, the other night I was sad about our puppy Silas, that crossed the river bridge in October. And you responded to my question asking if animals become spirit guides on Facebook. It felt like a total sign from Silas. What a great name. I have chills. Oh, he's definitely around. He's definitely around you. And yes, they will become our spirit guides. They're especially when there's been that bond, right? When there's that bond. There was a great movie about a dog who reincarnates and comes back for different people at different times. Such a good movie. I love that movie. And just has anybody seen The Undoing? James told me about that the other day, and I don't know if anybody, if you haven't seen it, it's on HBO. It's a real thriller. It's a real thriller, very, very psychological. So don't forget, I also answer psychological questions too. Not as interesting, probably, as the spiritual. Even my mom, when she was alive, she'd go, "No, I don't want to talk about the psychology. I want to talk about the spiritual." Um, Lord's Solar says, what are my chances of meeting my most recent past life twin brother when I pass? Well, that's a wild question. I have to wrap my head around that one for a minute. What are my chances of meeting my most recent past life twin brother when you pass? So recent meaning this life twin brother, or is that what you're saying? Or past life twin brother? Let me just answer it like this. You'll be with him. He'll probably come and get you when it's time. Or there'll be, what happens is there's a meet and greet. So when you pass over, there's a meet and greet, just like you're backstage at a concert, meet and greet, right, Larry? Meet and greet. You're going to do a meet and greet. And when you do this meet and greet, there will be people that you will have known from this lifetime. And then there'll be people that you will know from previous lifetimes. And you may not recognize them at first. Some you may. Some you might go, I knew it. It's going to be a wild experience. So don't worry, Lords. Great question. You will meet with him. Let's see. That's A Dog's Purpose. Thank you, Kim. That was the name of that movie. It was such a good movie. I just love that one. So, what else should I answer here? Could a reading help my son with his drug addiction struggle? Yeah, it could. Private reading for that probably could. Hopefully. I mean, help get some consciousness into it. It's awful when somebody's addicted to drugs because they're not really present. And that's the problem. They're not present. So Marissa says, I've been so sick lately. What's in my body? What in my body do I need to heal to stop manifesting so much illness? It's a great question. So one thing, if you've been ill for a long time, is to get very aware that what are you doing anything? Are you bringing any of this on? Have you learned enough already from whatever illness it is, and start pouring in light, and consciously pouring in light. So whether it's a back problem, a neck problem, a head problem, a cancer problem, whatever it is, pour in light. Just pour it in. Just visualize tons and tons of light going in that area. And that actually begins the healing process. And when have people pray for you and send you light, I have a brother that ended up in the hospital today for something, and not for COVID. And I started immediately pouring light into his system immediately. So that's what you want to think like that. Okay. Milena says, my son is very shy, praying he will overcome the shyness. Often, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It all depends. Some people are more don't want to be, feel uncomfortable, with too much attention on them. So, but sometimes they outgrow it. I used to be really shy, believe it or not. Now, not so. So, Yesenia, I love that name. Such a pretty name. Yesenia Morajo, if I'm saying that right. Where did you go? I just had she said, I have tons of high school students dealing with depression and they were fine before COVID. What advice should I give them? My bag of tricks isn't working. Great question. Thank you for asking that question. Teach them. Start with talking about them, telling them. I say, well, let me get my thoughts together here. Teach them how to meditate. Teach them how to meditate. Tell them how special they are, that they are so special because they're going to take this experience into their lives and into their careers, and that they have a purpose. Remember to drive home the fact that each one of them has a purpose. So what happens when they're, teenagers, they start, and of course, they're not thriving right now. Most of them are not. And it's such a great question. Maybe do a group with them and have them talk about what they want to do when they, grow up. What do they want to do? Get their life, push that life button in, that life force button in. You can do it. You can do it. Tell them that they and teach them how to meditate. Be really great for them. Tell them what old souls they are, because they are. The souls at about that age right now, they still wanted to be here for this time because they're going to be the change makers. Let's see. Christine Meehan says she prays to Saint Raphael for me and envision this beautiful. Oh, how sweet! Thank you, Saint Raphael. Oh, I appreciate that. Saint Raphael is Archangel Raphael is about healing. He's the one. He's the great healer. So if anybody is ill, also bring in him. I couldn't agree more with that statement. Thanks for reminding me, Christine. He's a big one. Yeah, Lori Guthier Young, she says she loves this advice for the depressed teenagers. Yeah, meditation would be great. Guided meditation. So go online. James has a lot of free meditations. Guided is the term you want to use. Guided meditations. And it gives your brain a place to go. And then it teaches them how to control their brain. It teaches them. And you have to remind them that they wanted to be here and that they have a life purpose. And have them get in touch with that life purpose. So just really, really going to be important. Oh, and Charlene she's right. Have them stay away from sugar, salt, and processed foods. That's so true. Thanks for that one. I think that's actually so accurate. You want to make sure that they are. It's hard with teenagers, I know. I remember those days, but it's if you can, because all of that would lower their vibration. So you just want to remind them. Sometimes they just need that lift up of how special they are. And they are. These kids are all very special right now. All these kids are special. Everybody's special. So, oh, I love this. Kim Ann Snodgrass, tuning fork sound therapy might help with teens. Excellent idea. Excellent idea. Now, how would you find that? I guess you'd go to YouTube and learn everything you can about tuning forks. Wouldn't that be something? That's a fabulous idea, by the way. I love that idea. It's the singing bowls too, and really get them into getting in something in a spiritual way. This is what we're here for at this time, right? Because she had a teacher who brought one of these tuning forks into class and used it on her high school kids. I'm going to tell you this, these tuning forks are kind of amazing. Once you have that experience, it kind of lifts you up. You're like, whoa, like it lifts you up. Really pretty extraordinary. Tammy Lynn says she and her husband together 23 years, and we find our connection becomes stronger and stronger. His thoughts become mine and vice versa. Is this the normal? Oh gosh, Tammy Lynn, it's a blessing when this happens. It's a blessing. I mean, it's a real soulmate connection. Sometimes you'll hear me use the term cellmates, but in this case, and you may have started off as cellmates and then ended up as soulmates, it's kind of a funny thing, but yeah, I think it's fabulous. Is this normal? Not, it's rare. I'd love to say it was normal, but it's rare, and it's a blessing. So God bless you. I think that's great. Let's see what else here. Oh my gosh, Lori Brown, 22263. Wow. If I hear any more 22s today, I don't even know what to say. 222. Oh my gosh, remember that show, Room 222? Okay, who remembers that show? I know some of you do. It was about a high school, I think, Room 222. Oh my God. 222. That is also a 3 of diamonds day. And that is also usually everybody I know that's on that birth date is an actor or an actress. They're very creative. There's this huge thing. Danny Ocean says, what do I think of twin flames? Well, I think it's a rarity. So a twin flame is, they're like the lover of lovers. They're the deepest connection that all of us have another, our other half, if you will, on the other side. This is the belief. And that every once in a while, you will both be here at the same time in this dimension together. It's very rare. Sometimes I've seen it on a couple of occasions. It doesn't necessarily mean that it works out. It's always somebody that comes to teach you something. And it's rare. So do I think about it? What do I think about it? Jury's out. I'm not sure on that one. Anyway, I want to remind everybody, Monday night, James and I are going to be talking about love and fear. And it's going to be very interesting from a spiritual standpoint and from a psychological standpoint. So we'll be taking your questions. Oh, people do remember Room 222. I like that show. Oh my gosh. And somebody's daughter transitioned on 12/22. Oh, that was a 9 of Hearts day. I'm sorry, honey, that happened on 12/22. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So, and 12/28, Kathy Davis is a 7 of Hearts, which is a deeply spiritual date. Anyway, well, everybody, I want to thank you so much for allowing me into your homes, and you're in my home here in Wisconsin. And it's going to snow tomorrow here. And I'm going to get some pictures of the snow, and I'll post them for everybody. So, and I want to thank you, Renee, for everything. And if you guys have, you're so welcome.
Amazing show. And
thanks.
Sorry that the phone system is down. I'll look into what is going on. But thank you so much for everything.
Thanks, everybody. It's okay. We'll figure it out. And next week, keep those questions coming because, my gosh, some of the greatest questions ever. All right. Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.